Joining us now to take a look at the market technicals is Katie Stockton, Fairlead Strategies founder and managing partner and a CNBC contributor. Because it hasn't gone over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend, it's stalled, I think. So that's how Bitcoin's so volatile that it has not exceeded 100, but it ran up significantly to above 99,000 at one point. How can you use technicals once it gets above anywhere it's ever been before?
Well, it's a good question. We don't have a way of gauging upside potential from here. All of the price objectives that we can derive from the breakouts that we've seen have been exceeded. The most recent one being about 98,000 based on a measured move projection. So we are in uncharted territory in terms of where there is resistance, which of course there is none. But we can, of course, just refer back to the previous trading and get sort of a sense of how Bitcoin tends to trade and use that as sort of a playbook going forward. And what we've noticed for Bitcoin is it does tend to stair-step both to the downside and to the upside, meaning that it sees these very sharp run-ups and then consolidates, and usually consolidates for months, not just weeks. So we do feel that after such a strong run-up that consolidation is likely. The $100,000 mark is certainly a psychologically significant benchmark there. Really insignificant, though, otherwise, except for just a round number. And
then whenever I ask you what the downside support is with Bitcoin, it's always so much bigger than any other market we follow. So if it holds 40,000, then we're still in an uptrend or something?
I think with Bitcoin...
I'm kidding, but what do you think? Where do you see the first support?
The first support is around 74,000, just simply based on former resistance. I know, but you don't need to be willing to let it ride down to that level. But I think actually people should be. It's not to say it looks like it's going back there, but they need to be willing to give Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies in general more room because of the volatility there, and also because I think of the long-term potential. I think investors should have small positions in their portfolio, something that they almost forget about, don't look at that often except when they want to, and just watch this sort of long-term advance unfold.
The other important, and we started with Bitcoin, I don't know if I would have started with it. Obviously, it's been in the news a lot, but I think we're more interested, or most people are more interested in the S&P or the NASDAQ. I don't know why since they're at all-time highs, I don't know why your work is any better on those, because those have never been this high either. So you don't have a map for what's going to happen there either, do you?
Yeah, the price objectives that we could have gotten for the S&P are, again, also basically in line. So it does put us in a position where we're more sensitive to any loss of momentum. Right now, momentum is neutral short-term, and intermediate and long-term is still, of course, very much positive. So we are still, staying the course with existing long ideas that have maintained that momentum. But where we're seeing sell signals, and there are those out there for sure, with the breadth having faltered to some degree, we're being respectful of those sell signals.